Welcome back to the Popcorn Confessional, and we're joined by our special guest, Billy. And today's episode, we're going to talk about Spiral from the Book of Saw. You want to say anything different here?
No.
This right here.
So the defunct Blockbuster Video.
No, the kids call this street cred.
I call it a relic.
Fire up the Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
Spiral, the 9th installment in the Saw franchise, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who also directed parts 2, 3, and 4, stars Chris Rock as Detective Zeke Banks and the amazing Sam L. Jackson, who plays his father, retired police chief Marcus Banks.
We open up on a street fair where a purse is snatched in front of an off-duty detective, Boz, who then gives chase. The purse snatcher leads Boz into the sewers. Maybe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is his backup. And Boz, starts looking around where he comes up on this person sitting in a chair. And he is snatched up by a person wearing a pig mask. Typical Saw stuff. Boz turns out to be our first person that is in a jigsaw trap. And it is a tongue clamp hanging him within a subway tunnel, and the only thing that he has to stand on is a chair. To live or die, what he has to do? Either jump off the chair and dislodge his tongue from his mouth, or get hit by the oncoming train.
So, after an undercover sting goes bad, I don't even know if you'd call it undercover because Zeke was doing this all on his own. He's forced to go back to regular duty where he's saddled with a rookie partner, Detective William Shank, played by Max Minghella, who actually was inspired by Zeke's father to become a detective. A partner is something that Zeke doesn't want. He doesn't want any part of that due to having a lack of trust with his brothers in blue, who refer to him as a rat.
A small gift box arrives at the police station addressed to Zeke. And, Zeke opens up the box. Inside of it is a little thumb drive with, almost looks like blood on it. It says, "Play me." And
I think it's a spiral on it.
No, it says, "Play me."
No, but I'm saying it's not blood. I think it's a spiral.
Spiral that says, "Play me"?
Oh my god. It's not blood on the thumb drive. It's a red spiral.
But it says "Play me" on it.
I understand that.
How would it say "Play me" if it's a spiral?
Oh my god.
Meanwhile,
a small gift box arrives at the police station, addressed to Zeke. Contained inside, a junk drive, which is our first clue from Jigsaw, the copycat killer. And so the games begin, and Zeke is now caught up in a cat and mouse copycat Jigsaw killer games where the police are the targets. Did I ruin this film for you? About 30 minutes in, minus the intro, so about 28, 27 minutes in.
Like just now?
No. Did I ruin the movie for you about 27 minutes in when we were watching it?
No, why?
Because I figured it out in the first 27 minutes. So, the old tagline was, if it's Halloween, it's Saw.
Okay, but I also agreed with you and said that I thought that's what it was too.
Oh. So, if it's Saw, it's an M. Night Shyamalan film because you're going to expect a twist at the end. So that's essentially what it is. So when you go to see a Saw movie today, you know that there's going to be a twist ending. And this one was telegraphed very easily. What was your thoughts on it?
Okay, my thoughts. First of all, it was very rushed. It was barely an hour and a half. And while I don't think horror movies should be dragged out, 2.5 hours, I feel like it needed a little bit more time. as far as, like, the cat and mouse and the clues, they were stupid. They were stupid. It wasn't the same as the other Saw franchise movies, and I didn't like all the movies in the Saw franchise, I'll be honest. I probably liked maybe the first 3, but I can tolerate the others. And there's a lot more of, finding the clues and, getting lost in looking for these, the clues, and then ultimately ending up in this trap, and the storylines behind it, like why this person is in this trap and why this is happening to them. That wasn't in this movie.
No, it was. It just wasn't emphasized.
It was, but it was not emphasized. And I also feel like the find the clues and find the person was something that a 5th grader would do. There was no, like, brain power behind it. I gotta be honest. I'm not trying to call anyone stupid, but there just was no thought behind it. There really wasn't.
Now, I will disagree with you there, just because we know John Kramer is dead, right? If this is a spoiler to you, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be watching the review, period. But we know John Kramer...
Well, not when it's the 9th installment.
Yeah, exactly. So we know John Kramer's dead. He's been dead for how many years? And you have all of these disciples. And when you have all these disciples, it should be different. So that I appreciated. Where it was different from what we've seen with the other disciples.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be different. They were all different from the previous ones. There was different traps, and I did appreciate the traps. I thought that they were pretty cool. Horrible ways to die or have to choose to save your life or so be it. But I didn't like the cat and mouse part of it. I thought it was too rushed. It was too short, and I feel like a child could have done it.
Almost felt like an escape room, right? So it's high tension throughout the entire movie. It's like, all right, go, 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 go. So yeah, almost kind of felt like an escape room. Now, as people may know, and if you don't know, Chris Rock is the one that approached them to do this installment.
Mm-hmm. He's a huge fan. Yep,
huge fan. So I think maybe there was not a lot of thought that was put into it because, it's... I can see where maybe his thought process came in, because there's some relevant topics today in this film that deals with the current situations we're seeing in the news with police. If you're tired of seeing all this stuff on the news about the police and citizens, you may want to avoid this because this will piss you off, because this is a theme in this movie, and it was made before the past year of tensions that we've seen in society today. So that plays out in the movie, so that's a nice little... reflection of what we're seeing today play out. And some people may end up rooting for the copycat killer in this. But for me, like you mentioned, it was a little rushed. It's fast-paced. And it's really easy to kind of figure out. So once I kind of figured it out, I was like, all right, so let's see where else this person slips up. And it's just kind of obvious throughout the entire film that this person is, Jigsaw. Mm-hmm. And then, which kind of made the ending reveal just really lackluster. So I thought the ending was kind of cool, and how the reveal was done, character-wise. But for somebody watching the film, that's what I gotta say about it. Now, I think where, Twisted Pictures and Lionsgate's kind of missing the boat here is we now have another disciple that is introduced into the Saw franchise. Is it going to be like the other ones, where we do nothing with them? I want to see more Saw films, and if John Kramer's going to be in it or not be in it, that's fine. But let's explore the characters that we have established and see what's going on with them, because we have multiple copycats running around out there, and for what reason?
And nothing ever happens with them. I mean, they don't...
Yeah.
They don't die, and they're not in prison, so where are they? What are they doing? I feel like, why are you going to keep making movies and just introducing new copycat killers, and you've got the other ones you could do something with?
Yeah, exactly. So, while this is not a direct sequel to the 8 previous films, you can watch it on its own if you haven't seen it, the other 8, and still have a good movie to watch. If you've never seen a Saw movie, this is going to be really good for a lot of people. But again, we have an expanded Saw universe. Let's take advantage of it and see what the heck is going on out there.
Like I like in the past where, for instance, that doctor, we find out that he actually was a victim. Amanda was a victim, and then they became disciples. You don't get that in this one.
No, not at all. No. I can't anything to that. So again, story was okay. I love the New Jack City references. Seeing Pookie in there. Maybe he comes up in an episode of 5 Things. You have to watch that show.
And Sam L. Jackson, he delivered his one-liners of motherfucker constantly throughout the movie.
Yeah, good chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
So, it's... What's your rating?
I'm going to give it a D+. Yeah.
I'm going to be a little bit more generous. I'm going to give it a solid C. The reason why I say a solid C is because I have to watch it again now, because I'll know the ending, like I've known the endings for the other movies after I watched it the first time, and then I'll probably have a good rating on it. But, going into it the first time, expecting that surprise, shocking ending, since I figured it out 28 minutes into the movie, that kind of spoiled it a little bit for me, so definitely a C.
You were definitely generous.
No, there was decent there was decent acting. The traps.
If you say so. I thought Chris Rock's acting was on point, and Max Minghella was good. Sam L. Jackson, we didn't see enough of him, so he wasn't really in the movie throughout it, because he was retired. But the other acting, I don't even know who those actors are, and I don't care.
Yeah, there was a lot of lack of story building for those characters, and the one cop almost looks like the cop from 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what it is with that one look. They just have this one cop, because, in 4 and 5, they look the same, and now there's another one that looks like the one from the previous films.
And if you notice, those two particular cops, were they Boz and Fitch? They kind of looked alike in this movie. They had a very similar style. Their haircut, they just looked similar. So, find a different look.
Yeah. If a sequel comes out, will I watch it? I probably will. For this installment, would you?
I'll watch it for Chris Rock. I do like Chris Rock, and I think for being a person who is known for his comedy, Grown Ups and, movies like that, I think that he did really well. And I think that's probably because he's a huge fan of the franchise. And he's a good actor. He is. Chris Rock is great. So it was good to see him in a different genre for once. So I would watch it for Chris Rock.
All right. Well, that's our reviews. If you have time to go out and see this film, it is playing in most theaters, which are opening up all over the country. So go and check it out. If you're a huge Saw fan and you try to, act as a detective yourself, you are going to figure it out pretty easy, so you may want to hold back and wait and see it. The Saw traps are not as elaborate as all the previous films, which makes sense because, the copycat is not an engineer. So that plays into this film, so that's fine. Not going to get the typical Saw traps that you expect. That's okay. And
they were cool, though.
Yeah, they were alright. For this movie, they complemented the movie nicely. So I was happy with those Saw traps based on that. If you don't like the old, fast-paced shoots on the kill scene, then that's a return to the film. And, as Jen said, there is no emphasis on, how these guys got into the trap. So there's there's no moments when that's kind of revealed to them in the TV. But, unfortunately, spoiler now, turn it off. Unfortunately, this guy is not in the movie. He's replaced with some pig-looking puppet.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that. If you're gonna use the spiral, I'm sure it's pretty easy to get a Billy puppet, right? We live in a culture today that can be mirrored in a movie where there are people selling serial killer stuff. So I'm sure in the Saw universe, this guy exists somewhere on eBay or Pinterest or whatever website. So
you're right, but there's a reason why the pig was used. They're targeting cops. Hello, pigs. Yes, that's why.
I know that, but the pig mask has been in every single movie, so it could be for that reason too.
But I'm saying the pig puppet. It was because they were cops. They were targeting the precinct, and cops are called pigs. Not that I liked that. I mean, I prefer Billy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a creepy little bastard.
Yeah, I miss the tricycle.
Even though he sits in our living room.
All right. Well, guys, it's that time of the film. If you have comments, you've seen this movie, because I know I've seen some reviews out there and people are really liking it. Let us know what you think about the film. Let's start a conversation in the comments. Why did you love it? Why did you hate it? Etc., etc., etc. Also, if you like this video, give us a like. Click the subscribe button, right? Click, 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 click. And then hit the little notification bell, because there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming. And you'll be seeing an interview about an upcoming film next week. And then we're going to be launching some of our new shows within the next 2 weeks. So, till next time, catch you at the next one.